Hi YouTube family, my name is Vicky. So in today's video we are going to learn how to push and pull images to the Amazon ECR. Now what exactly the Amazon ECR? That is a elastic container repository in the sense like where we can store our images. Amazon ECR is a service which is provided by the AWS. We have alternate tools as well in the market, like we have the Bitbucket, we have the GitLab, we have the GitHub. In today's video we are going to see how to push our images to the Amazon ECR, and in the end of the demo I am also going to show you like how, if we let's suppose if we need to pull that image from the Amazon ECR, how we can do that. So this demo is divided into a couple of parts, so if you want to follow along you can do that, but make sure you follow each and every step by step, so that you are not going to miss on anything. So in the step 1 we are going to learn how to create a EC2 machine. Now in this demo what we are going to do is we are going to create a Amazon Linux machine. Whatever the demo I'm going to do, I'm going to do it on that. So after that what we need to do is we need to create a user. We need to create a IAM user. Now why we need to create a IAM user? Because here we are going to connect with two services. First is the Amazon EC2 and the other one is the Amazon ECR. So from that local machine or the Amazon EC2 machine, if I need to push something to the Amazon ECR, I need a user in between. So for that we are going to configure a user and we are going to provide access to that user. After that what we are going to do is we are going to configure that user with the help of the command line, with the help of the AWS CLI on the EC2 machine, so that I can run all the commands. Once we are done with all those steps, the next step which I am going to do, I am going to install the Docker on my Amazon Linux machine. And once we have the Docker installed, the next step we have for the Docker images, where I'm going to tell you like how you can create a Docker image. There is also a course which I have created on the Docker. If you are not sure like how to work with Docker, if you need more detail regarding how to push and pull images from the Docker, how Docker we can install on different flavors like Windows, Ubuntu, Linux, then you can go to that series and watch. I will provide you in the link in the description. Once we are done with all those steps, the next step is to authenticate the default registry, that is the Amazon ECR. So there are a couple of commands which we need to run in order to authenticate with the AWS CLI. Once we are done with all those steps, the next step is to create an Amazon ECR repository. Now the repository I'm going to create again from the AWS CLI. I'm not going to do anything from the graphical interface. Everything I'm going to do in this demo from the command line only. After that we are going to see how to push our images, how to push like whatever the image I have on my Amazon Linux machine, I need to push that image to the Amazon ECR. How we can do that? After that we are going to see how we can pull that image from the Amazon ECR to the EC2 machine. Once we are done with all those things, then in last I'm also going to tell you like how you can delete a repository or the image which is there on the Amazon ECR with the help of the command line. So not wasting much time, let's start with the step 1 in this. So for the step 1 I need to go to the AWS console. So let me go to the AWS console. So here I am in my AWS console. Now whatever the demo I'm going to do, I'm going to perform in North Virginia region. So if you are following along, make sure that you are going to use a particular region only. Okay, the first thing I need to create a machine. So how to create a machine? For that we need to come to the EC2, and once we are on the EC2 dashboard we can click here on the launch instance. Now I will go with the first one, that is the Amazon Linux 2 AMI. This is the latest one which is provided by the Amazon. The next one we need to choose an instance type. For this demo we are okay to go with 1 GB of the memory and the 1 virtual CPU. So I will go with the default machine which is T2 micro, which is also a free tier eligible. The next is the configure instance. I don't want to change any of the setting here, but this setting is mainly related to the networking. If we need to run any of the startup script, if we need to provide any external IPs or something, then from this window we can do that. But as of now for this demo I don't want to do anything in the storage. We are good with 8 GB of the storage because the image which we need to push and pull, that is of a very limited size, so we are good with this. Now in the tagging we can give a name. So let me give a name to my machine so that I can identify this machine from the Amazon EC2 console. So demo machine is the name. Let me give new as well. Okay, now in the configure security group, what I am going to do is I am going to open all the traffic. Now why I am going to open all the traffic? Because in this demo I am going to work with the Docker, and the Docker image I am going to run, or rather I would say the Docker container which I am going to create from the Docker image, that container I am going to run on a random port. So let's suppose there is a container which I need to run on port number 8080. So we need to open that port here. I don't want to do all those steps, so that is the reason I am going with the all traffic right now, but it is not recommended. It is always recommended that you open a particular port which is required. As of now I am going with all traffic because we are doing a demo, so that's okay. The next one, review, and after that we need to click on the launch. Now once we click on the launch, the next thing is I need to select a key pair. So I already have a key pair with me with the name ECS, so I'm going to use that. Okay. So the step 1 is done. We have created a machine. Let me log into the machine. Or before logging to the machine, let me do one thing. Let me create a user. That is the step 2 in this. So let me go to the step 2 and create a user. And for that, what I need to do is I need to go to the IAM. IAM is Identity and Access Management. From here, we can create a user on the Amazon. Now here I'm going to click on the users, and here I'm going to click add user. And for this ECR user, I'm going to create. Now here I have couple of options. The first option, I have the access key, that is the programmatic access, and the other one is the password. I'm going to select the access key. Now if you need more detail on this, I have already created a video on the IAM. You can always go and watch that video. I'm going to provide you with a link in the description. Now access key I'm going to select. Now this is for the AWS API call, CLI, SDK, and other development tools. So for this demo we need a CLI, so that is the reason I'm going with AWS access key. Next, permission. Now we need to come to the third tab and we need to attach a policy here. I'm going to attach a admin policy, but again that is not recommended. It is always recommended that you give limited access to the user, whatever the user you are creating. For this demo we need access to the Amazon ECR only, but I'm okay. I'm going with the admin access because I need to do other things as well. But if you are following along, what you can do is you can search for the ECR full permission and give it to your user. ECR full access. ECR, there is the policy you will get, and you can attach that. Now once you click on the create user, you will get the access key and the secret key. Now this screen is very important because here you need to download this CSV file. If you are not going to download the CSV file, you will not get the secret key. This is a one-time option only, so make sure you download this thing on your local machine and store it in a secure location. Now what I need to do is I need to go to the EC2 console where I have created my machine. So let me log into that my machine. So how to log into the machine? By grabbing the public IP, and we need to go to that location where we have our key pair downloaded. So let me open the terminal and let me go to that location where I have my key pair. So cd download, and the command is ssh-i, and after that the key pair name, after that the username, and the public IP. Now if you are not sure what exactly this command is, what you can do is you can select your machine, you can click on the connect button here, and from here you can go to the SSH client and you can copy this command, exactly the same command which I have used right now. Now here I logged into my machine. Now what I need to do is I need to configure my user here. Which user? The IAM user which I have just created. Now to configure that user, we need to run the command aws configure. Once we run this command, it is going to ask me for the access key. So let me copy the access key from here, paste. The next thing is it is asking me for the secret key, so let me copy the secret key from here. The next is the default region name, so North Virginia, US East 1. That is something I need to give here. Next is the default output format. I am going to leave this thing blank. So default output format is JSON, so it is going to work in the JSON format. Great. Now we have configured the user, we have created a machine. Let's move to the next step. Now the next step, we need to install Docker on this machine. Now how to install Docker on this machine? I have already created a Docker series. You can go and watch that series if you need more information like how to work with the Docker. Okay, and this is the step which we are going to follow. I am going to provide all those things in the description, so that if you want you can follow it along. So the first thing which we need to do is we need to install Docker on this machine. So how to install Docker? So the first command is here. I'm just going to copy paste the command one by one. So the first thing which I'm doing is I'm going to update the ECR repository. Once I'm going to update, the next thing I'm going to install the Docker. -y as well. Now it is installing the Docker. After that, what we are doing is we are starting the service for the Docker. And after that, what I am doing is I am adding my EC2 user. So here you can see this is a EC2 user. Okay, right now this user don't have access to the Docker. And how I can verify that thing? If I am going to run any of the command like docker info or something, I will get error, got permission deny, right? So that is the reason what I am doing is I am adding EC2 user to the Docker group. Now if we look at this command user mode -a means append, G means group is Docker, A means append here. So we can assume like this user is already added to couple of groups, right? Now if I'm not going to provide -a option here, what will happen? It is going to delete all the group which is already there for this user, and give this rule, give this group to the user. So I don't want to do that thing. That is the reason I'm going with -a command here. Okay, now let me run the Docker info command one more time, but this time again I will get the error message. Now why I will get the error message? Because I have added the user to the Docker group, but the permissions are still not reflecting. So for that, what we can do is we can log off and log in back, and once we are going to log off and log in back, we are able to run the Docker commands. Docker info, I am able to get all the result from the Docker info command. So my Docker is installed on my EC2 machine, right? Now the next thing is we need to create one of the image. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder here. So mkdir demo ECR. Let me go inside this folder. Now here I'm going to create my Docker file. So touch Docker file. Now let me log in, nano Docker file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste this content. Now what exactly this thing is doing, let me explain you step by step. So let me paste it here. Now if we look at the first parameter, that is the from parameter. Okay, the from Ubuntu 18.04. okay, now the base image for these commands, the command which you can see below, these command, the base image is going to be Ubuntu. So the container or the image which I am going to use, that is a Ubuntu image 18.04. if you want to go with any other version, or if you want to go with the latest version, you can always go and change this thing. Okay, the next command is we are installing the dependency like run apt-get update, and after that I am installing Apache. Once we have the Apache installed, I am updating the index.html page with hello world. If you want, you can change this thing. For this demo, I am not going to change hello world, but this is the result you will get once this container is up and running. After that, you are changing the permission, you are creating couple of directories and changing the permission, and you are exposing port number 80 so that your Apache will run on port number 80. Let me save this thing. Now what we need to do is we need to build this image. Now how to build this image? With the docker build command. Now docker build -tt is for tag here, and hello world is the name of my image, and dot. Now here the dot means the docker file is in this repository only. If your docker file is in some other repository, then what you can do is you can give the path of that repository here. Now it is going to take some time, and it is going to pull that image from the Docker hub. Okay, great, done. Now to verify, we can run the docker images command, and once I am going to run the docker images, I will see the hello world latest images here, right? Now the next thing we have, okay, you can also use a filter option here. If you have multiple images and you want to search for a particular image, you can always do that by this command, docker image -- filter reference, sorry, hello world. You will get this thing. Now the next is we need to run this. We have the image with us. Now we need to run a container. For that I am going to run this command. Now in this command you will see docker run -t -i -p. -p is for the port, and then we have the name of the image. I means interactive, so I'm going to add one more parameter here, that is -d. Now why -d? So that it is going to run the container in the background. If you are not going to add the -d option here, what will happen? The container is going to run on this window only. Now this is running on port number 80, so let me verify it by going to the docker ps command, and from that it is telling me it is running on port number 80. That's great. So I can also verify this thing from the browser. And how we can verify? We need to grab the public IP, and after that we need to enter the public IP here, and hello world. I'm getting this response. If you are getting page cannot be displayed or some other error message, make sure you will check your security group, and in your security group port number 80 should be enabled, this security group. Okay, as of now all traffic is there, so that is the reason I am able to open this thing. And if you are facing any problem, just check your security group. I'm sure there is a problem with the security group, and that is the reason you are not able to open that thing. Okay, now the next one is to authenticate. Now this is the command. Now let me copy this command. You need to do some changes in this command. If you are not going to do the changes, this command is not going to run. So let me expand this thing. Now if you see this command region, here you need to change the region name. Let's suppose if you are working on any of the region, you need to change the region name here. Here we have the account ID. This is something you need to update. This is my account ID. So if I go to my account, here is my account ID. So you need to change this thing with your account ID. Here also you need to give the region name, and then you need to hit enter. Once you hit enter, if everything is correct, you will get this message login succeed. If you are not able to get this message, that means somewhere you are not providing the correct information. Let me tell you one more time. This is the command we have, and this command we need to update the region here. After that, here we need to update the account number. Your account number you need to update, and here we need to update the region name. the next command we need to do is we need to create a repository. Now before creating a repository, let me go to the Amazon ECR. Okay, now here I am in Amazon ECR. As of now there is no private repository, no public repository for me, right? So I'm going to create a repository from the AWS CLI command. Let me go here, paste. Now here my repository is created. You can change as per your requirement, like the repository name I have given hello world. If you want, you can change that name, and the region, if you want to change the region, you can also update the region here. Now I have this repository created, so let me refresh this thing. Let me go to the Amazon ECR one more time, services, ECR. Now here I can see one of the repository. Okay, now the next thing is we need to verify our Docker images. So now here we have the image hello world. Now this is something I need to push it to the Amazon ECR, but we cannot push with a single command. What we need to do is first we need to tag this image, which is very important. Without tagging we are not able to push that. So the first thing which I am going to do is I am going to tag this. Now for that the command is this. Again you can update this command as per your account ID. So here if you can see, here is the account ID. So that is something I need to replace. Let me replace this thing. For that I need to grab my account ID, and from where I will get my account ID, I need to go here, and here is the account ID. Now if you look at the command, let me go to docker tag hello world latest. So this is the repository hello world latest. This is the tag, this is the tag name. Let me hit enter, and then let me show you the Docker images. See, we have this repository here with the tag latest. So whatever you are going to provide here, it is going to create with the same name. Now we are done with this step. We have tagged our image. The next step is to push. So this is the command. Again, if you have done some changes, you can update your command with that. So let's suppose I need to update the account ID here. Let me copy it from here, copy. Okay, no such host, we are getting error message, so that means we are doing something wrong. Let me go and check for the command one more time. Docker pull this. So we are able to push now. Now what exactly it is doing, it is going to push it to the Amazon ECR. So let me go to the ECR and refresh this thing, and if I am going to click here, I will see my image with the tag latest here. Great, we are done. Now let me move to the next step. Now the next step is to pull an image. So we have the image here, this is the image, we have it here, right? Now let's suppose I need to pull this one onto my EC2 machine. So let's do that, but before that what we are going to do is we are going to delete everything, so that now here I am going to see we have the Docker images here. So let me delete all those images first. So the command to delete, that is docker image rm, and then we need to give the name of the repository. Okay, untag. After that we need to remove this one. It's not images, I'm so sorry, it's image. Docker image rm is the command. We need to provide the latest as well here. No such image. Why? Hello world. Okay, let me see with Docker images. Yes, we do have. Let me copy this thing one more time. Docker image rm, and then we need to provide this name and then the tag name. No such image, and we also need to provide the tag name here, that is latest. Okay, no such image with this. Okay, let me delete the other images first. Done. Docker image rm Ubuntu 18.04. Done. Let me see with Docker images. Now this is something funny. Why I'm not able to delete this thing? Let me do it one more time. Docker image rm, and then we need to copy the name of the image. We are still getting the error message. Let me go with the latest one. Still we are getting the error message. That's okay. That is something we need to troubleshoot. I'm not going to waste time in troubleshooting this thing. Let's see how we can pull an image from the Docker ECR. Now to pull the image from the Docker ECR, we have the command. Now here is the command. Again, you need to do the changes as per your account details, as per your region. Okay, like Docker pull, this is the image name here, and after that I'm providing with the latest. We are done pulling from the hello world, and we are done. Let me see with the Docker image. Now here we have the latest one. Now the last command is to delete the image. Now which image I'm talking about? This image which is there, this image. If I need to delete, so I'm going to delete it from here. Done. Okay, hello world, latest US East 1, latest. See, we have 0 images, so we have successfully deleted the images. Now the last thing, we need to delete this repository. So how we can do that? With this command. Again, you need to change the region name. Every information you need to update as per your region name, as per your repository. Otherwise you will get error message. We are done. So by this way we can pull and push images to the Amazon ECR. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please do subscribe my channel and hit the like button. And if you have any question, do comment. Thank you.